What? Chai Squeeze Justin, Communications Similkamich. Good evening, everybody. Justin from LSIB Comms. It is Thursday, day 2 and the final day of the Okanagan Nation Alliance Annual General Assembly for 2024, and what a heck of a finish. A very information-packed day today, and before I get into it, I got to tell you, if you're sitting for 2 days, you can nod off, you can lose concentration, whatever you want to call it, unless you have dynamic speakers and or topics that are very relevant and very pertinent to why you're there. And the day 2 did not disappoint. Some very good speakers. Opened up again today by Elder Arnie. And Arnie, I have to tell you, I could listen to you talk all day. Your voice might not make it that far, but your spirit, your demeanor, your words, your intentions, all of that is absolutely fantastic, and way to lead from the front. That is just an amazing example that you can set for folks to learn. Wow. If I could be half of that, I would be pleased. So to start off today, we actually got into some pretty, it's dark territory, and that is the Indian residential school issue with survivors, ONA members. And so they started talking about, how to try and bring surviving it and healing through it into a syilx lens, which means like you use more of the syilx way of doing things, the syilx foods, the syilx methods, I guess is a better term, of bringing people back into community and helping them heal through community, and the food chiefs, all of that. A very interesting topic, and I know there's going to be a lot more on it yet, but some great presentations that came out of that. And so thank you, survivors, for being so vulnerable and sharing your stories with us. Lim Lim. We also had Chief Robert Louis again from WFN talking about the collaborative watershed role. And this was interesting in that the watershed management needs to be, when they say collaborative, literally everybody has to get involved in it, right from the last person holding that hose out onto the lawn to the people that are up checking the headwaters. The municipalities or regional districts or whomever, the commercial businesses that are tapping into the water sources, they all have to be involved. Tessa Trubasky got up and spoke a bit, and although it was very brief, it was very succinct. It was a very to the point role that she spoke of, and it just brought collaborative to a whole new thing. They want everybody involved in the stewardship of this. That's everybody within the syilx territory, not just the syilx people, everybody within the syilx territories. And well done on bringing that up. It was interesting, to say the least. The next thing we talked about was, and I'm going to go back to the youth on this one, just very briefly, and you'll understand why as I get to the youth closer to the end. One of the LSIB Edwards, that's Herman, one of our elders, he is wanting to carve out a canoe again, and from scratch, and involve youth and others in it as well. And nice job, Herman, you got it out there. And then all of a sudden, chief and council are looking at each other. LSIB chief and council are looking at each other. You know what? I'm not going to get this out. It's just exciting. They look at each other across the table. The 3 councilors, the chief, the band manager, they look at each other, and all you can kind of see, all I picked up, not that I'm not observant, is a head nod. And then all of a sudden you hear Chief Crow get up and say, yeah, we're going to make it happen. They're going to make it happen. Herman, you took the shot. You won. Outstanding. So to add to it, there was another presentation on a unity paddle. This is, again, going back to getting the 7 bands. And then the other relatives from south of the 49th together. A unity paddle, getting a unity paddle function going by 2026. and LSIB chief and council step up again and say, yeah, we're gonna put money towards that. Like, first of all, thanks for no warning, guys. As you can see, my jaw drop. Second of all, way to be community. Way to be community. Just Keith, Janet, Julia, Jackie. We need more or less J's. My hands are up to you guys. Way to contribute and way to push that through. And Herman and Mrs., congratulations. It's going to happen. Way to go. I got to move on here because I know I'm going to sit here and talk about it all night. So the other stuff we talked about was natural resources, and this is bringing back the grizzly into the North Cascades. So Manning Park, just on the edge of Roto Flats and Ross Lake, and all the way up into the edge of Chipaka, bringing that grizzly bear back. Because the grizzly used to be here all the time. So ONA, along with LSIB, are working at getting that done. And some of the things they're doing, which is also interesting, is when the replanting comes along, they're not just getting trees replanted. They're asking that the native berries, willow for the creek sides to hold the banks together, like the sea, everything that was native to that area gets replanted back in that area. Not just a tree, not just a cuttable timber. So that was really cool to see that going on. They're also talked about Jordan Coble and the senior biologist Mackenzie Clark from ONA. She's the senior Tamik biologist. They were talking about the issues faced by the bighorn sheep, and that included blue tongue, which was a while ago now, but also Sauropsis mange, which is basically where you see, just the fur, the skin getting really, really infected and disfigured, and it's very hard on the animals. And also they call it Moby, I believe, but it's a pneumonia version passed on to the wild animals from the domesticated animals. So the domestic sheep and goats and everything pass it on, and to the bighorns. So they're really, really keeping an eye on that. Oh gosh, we're already 7.5 minutes in. I better get going here. The other stuff they talked about, wetlands, and putting things to syilx standards, because right now a lot of the best practices, believe it or not, are turning towards syilx standards. And that is, the way of the land. The language, the Insilxian language, speaks to the connection of the land. And it was, it's really neat to watch this unfold and watch the understanding pop by on the faces of people going around and then making the connection. It's just, this was a very, Jordan, you're an excellent speaker. Well done. And Mackenzie, you did really well too. You're not as boring or monotone as you think. Last but not least, props to the youth of the Okanagan Nation Alliance. We had youth from Upper Similkameen Band, Lower Similkameen Band, Upper Nick, OIB, Okanagan Indian Band, PIB, right? Like it was, did I miss anybody? Gosh, I hope not. If I did, I apologize. But youth from all seven, and their concerns, they talked amongst each other because they're all from different communities. They talked about their concerns and got up in front of the ONA assembly, and this included most of the chiefs and councils, and outright said, here's the problems facing our communities from the youth perspective. They wanted more things for the youth to do. That's definitely understandable for sure. They wanted to meet youth from other bands like they did at the ONA, AGA. They want to travel and learn other culture with outside of the ONA. And this is the biggest one for me. They brought up mental health and addiction issues. And this is coming from the youth. So when I say that they brought this up, saying this is an issue in their communities, my hands are up to you. You guys put your heads together. You talked about what was happening. You became vulnerable with each other and to the youth workers, and you brought it forward to a room of 100 plus people, including many chiefs and councils, if not all of them. Congratulations on stepping forward and leading as youth. Like it's amazing, and the fact that you can speak so well to the problems that addiction issues have, not just on Indigenous societies, but on society as a whole, as well as mental health issues, how it draws into that. And it goes back to, yesterday's topic about balance, mental balance, physical balance. And if you're healthy physically, but not mentally, or vice versa, how things are just like that. Youth of the ONA, impressive to say the least, impressive. All right, I've already ate up just about 11 minutes, folks. Thank you again. Oh, and thank you to everybody that said hello and introduced themselves and stopped by at ONA AGA today and yesterday. This lets me know that this is getting out there, and I appreciate you. Remember, check on the elders, check on the babies, check on the at-risk. Take care of each other, and we'll talk again soon. Bye, lim lim.